Talent is what gets you noticed in sports, and training is what keeps you prepared. But your mindset is what determines how far you go in your career. It is not enough for the world's most accomplished athletes to just exercise their bodies. Their thoughts are trained by them. They have mastered something that the majority of people fail to recognize: the ability to think, believe passionately, and compete fiercely regardless of the circumstances. It doesn't matter if you're trying to score a scholarship, if you're aiming for a professional position, or if you're just attempting to beat your own personal best. Your mindset is the motor. This video will provide you with 5 powerful and tried-and-true mindset keys that have the potential to not only revolutionize the way you train, compete, and improve as an athlete, but also as a person. 1. Identify yourself. First, understanding who you are outside of the game. The act of connecting one's entire sense of self to one's performance is one of the most perilous pitfalls that an athlete may fall into. If you allow the game to become your identity, then every victory seems like a confirmation of your identity, and every defeat feels like a personal failure. On the other hand, the most powerful and well-grounded athletes are aware of a more profound truth. You are not just what you do. You are who you are. When you are aware of who you are outside of your sport, the exertion of pressure starts to become less effective. Your self-assurance is not destroyed by poor performance. Having a setback does not lead to feelings of self-doubt. Rather than that, you cultivate an inner core that is stable, durable, and consistent, regardless of the scoreboard circumstances. Athletes such as Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka have been known to openly discuss the importance of providing a definition of themselves that goes beyond their accomplishments to ensure their mental well-being and longevity. It is not that their magnificence diminished when they removed themselves from the competition. Rather, in many respects, it grew more apparent. Athletes are not the only thing you are. You have a whole personality. The moment you come to believe, that is the moment when your mentality commences to develop. Win the morning by taking control of your mental space before the rest of the world enters the room. In many cases, how you begin your day will decide how you end it. Champions do not leave their mentality up to chance. Rather, they make the first few minutes of each day their hallowed ground. This does not imply that you have to sit in meditation for an hour or study 5 chapters of a book on mentality before the sun rises. However, it does need you to establish a regular and purposeful space each morning to match your thoughts with the objectives you have set for yourself. Depending on the athlete, this may take a varied form. The process of picturing the day's workout is something that some people do. Some people find that keeping a notebook or chanting affirmations helps them. The use of quiet and breath work is preferred by certain individuals, while others like high-energy movement and upbeat music. The activity is less important than the commitment that is made. Belief over doubt, focus over distraction, and purpose over apathy are all choices that you may make in the morning, which is your opportunity to set the tone for the day. The famed basketball player Kobe Bryant would get up early to train, not only to outwork his competitors, but also to mentally lock in before the rest of the world had a chance to become boisterous. He was aware that the starting point of the fight was not the gym, but rather the mind. Your routine doesn't need to be recognized as legendary. Nonetheless, it must be your own. 3. Become an expert in conversations that take place in your head. You will never hear a more significant voice than the one that is contained within your head. In the locker room, during the warm-up, on the court, and even when you are lying awake after a loss, it is with you during all of these moments. Is that voice uplifting you or bringing you down? That is the question that needs to be answered. Not only do elite athletes train more, but they also improve their ability to communicate with themselves. To replace the voice that tells them, "You are not good enough," they can catch it and replace it with, "This is your moment." They replace the notion that says, "You always choke here," with the thinking that says, "You've prepared for this." Therefore, they mute the thought. It is not a toxic form of positivism. Rather, it is a form of strategic self-control. The fourth key is to accept the pressure and use it as fuel rather than fear. Unavoidable pressure is present. It is something that every athlete experiences. Nevertheless, not every athlete is aware of how to take advantage of it. One of the most significant mental shifts you can make is to stop being afraid of pressure and instead begin to thrive under it. Consider the following. The only reason there is pressure is because there is something significant at stake. Rather than being on the sidelines, it is a symbol that you are inside the arena. The most formidable rivals do not attempt to avoid it. They are squeezing in closer. The butterflies, the adrenaline, and the tightness in the chest are all indications that the body is getting ready to perform, and they are aware of this fact. Neither is it fear. It's not fuel. Because they were immune to the effects of pressure, the sporting legends Jordan, Brady, Messi, and Biles did not perform well under pressure. They chose to act since they had developed a passion for it. The pressure was recast as an opportunity to climb, rather than a threat to fall, as they reframed it. Similarly, you can. You should remember that this is not fear the next time you find yourself feeling worried before a big game. The fire is here. In addition, you were designed to shine brightly. 5. Remain focused on the process rather than the praise that is being given. It is simple to slip into the trap of chasing approval in this day and age of social media, whether it be through likes, comments, praise from coaches, rankings, or awards themselves. The fact of the matter is, however, that all of it is external. What endures is what you construct on the inside: your routines, your concentration, and the everyday discipline you practice. Those athletes who can persevere and continue climbing long after the cameras have stopped flashing are the ones who tend to fall in love with the process rather than merely the desired outcomes. When no one is looking, they appear out of nowhere. They can maintain their concentration even while the attention is waning. Applause is not what motivates them, rather, they are motivated by a more profound objective. There is no reason to believe that you cannot experience success or recognition. On the other hand, if you rely on it, you will develop an addiction to a form of validation that is always just temporary. At the same time as it vanishes, your motivation will also vanish. You will know you have true mental power when you can maintain consistency without the need to be seen. If you work out because you are constructing something rather than proving something, then you are training. You compete for the love of the game, not for the love of the crowd when you are competing. The final thought is that mastering a mindset is a game that lasts a lifetime. In terms of mental toughness, there is no such thing as having or not having it. In the same way that you train your jump shot or your footwork, you train this as well. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your voice matters in the fight against misinformation.